Hi, my name is Mary. Thank you for joining us today while we stretch and get a little stronger so our everyday activities are just a little easier to do. Before you begin this or any other exercise program, you'll want to check with your doctor. And your doctor will say, well, you know, golly, for you specifically, these exercises you should do, these you shouldn't do. So he knows you well enough. Of course, I think you know yourself well enough also. But you want to make sure you check with your doctor. Also, you'll want to wear loose, comfortable clothes like Carol and I have on, so that when you bend or stretch or pull, you don't have anything restricting you and you feel very comfortable doing it. Because we're going to be standing up and sitting down, because our focus is going to be on hips today, you'll want to make sure that your home environment is very safe for you. We're going to be stepping out and in with our foot, not only in front of our chair, but also behind our chair. So you'll want to look around and make sure your environment is very clean and clear of scatter rugs or electrical cords or sleeping pets or stacks of books and magazines, which would happen to me. Also, you want to make sure that when you turn and rotate, you're not going to crack into any lamp, or stretching up, you're not going to crack into the chandelier. So make sure you're in a very safe environment and also in a very sturdy chair. You'll notice that both Carol and I are sitting in chairs with armrests. We're sitting with our buttocks forward, which is going to allow our hips, which is where our focus is today, more free range. We're sitting nice and tall, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Our bellies are in, unless I'm not thinking, and then of course I just have to fluff out my shirt. But basically our posture is great. And you'll notice we work at our own pace. Sometimes if I'm saying, you know, go a little faster, Carol will slow down, and so I hope you do too. If I'm going too slow and you can pick up the pace safely, then go right ahead and do that. So you want to really pay attention to your body. What's your body telling you you can do today? Sometimes your body's going to be full of energy, and sometimes it's going to be fuller of energy. So you'll want to pay attention to how your body feels. So you do your best. You say to yourself, okay, today I can only do 3 of these, but tomorrow I'm going to be able to do 4. Also, you want to remember, when you're doing your exercises with us, what's really important is what's happened around you. Like if you got a phone call that made you kind of cranky, you might not be exercising up to what you know you could do. And that's okay, because as life changes, our exercise enthusiasm changes, but we're always here together and we're always moving, and you always, always will feel better after our time together. So you want to make sure that when you are exercising, you don't push or bounce or force any move. You want to go slowly. You want to take your time. And so we're going to go for a greater range of motion. Also, you want to make sure you eat well. You want nice fuel in your body, fruits and vegetables and water. I mean, you know, all the things that your Grammy and Grandpa had you eat when you were young. Also, you want to smile. If you have a good attitude, and all you have to do is smile, and you feel good right away. Speaking of smiling, I'm going to introduce you to our friend Carol.
Hi, I'm Carol, and when you talk about bad hips, boy, can I tell you stories. I've had hip replacement here, and this one's going to be done in a while. But in the meantime, these are great exercises for you, so you don't do any damage to your hips. I didn't do damage purposely, but you never know. So you have to listen and learn from these exercises. So let's go.
She says let's go, and she's talking about her hips, but she was a professional dancer in New York City, so I am telling you, she used those hips a lot with those dancing legs. And so sometimes that's what can happen. So now, wherever you are is a good place to start to having better, stronger, and more flexible hips. So we're going to go right ahead and do that. Before you do that, you want to make sure, again, you're in good posture. Our buttocks are towards the edge of the chair. Our ears are over our shoulders, shoulders over hips, bellies in, chests up. You'll notice that our knees are directly in front of our hips, and right under our knees are our ankles. So we're going to start by just working the ankles, even though it doesn't have anything to do with the hips. Everything's attached to everything. So all we're going to do is lift the toes up, push the toes down, and lift the heels. Drop the heels and lift the toes so we're getting our feet nice and flexible. Our feet are our ground base for our ankles, which is why sometimes our hips hurt if we walk on uneven ground. Something that I know because I used to run a lot and I run on country roads. The country roads are like this. So I ran a lot with my left foot dropped slightly lower than my right. And that can happen. So, whatever you do, just remember wherever you are now is a good place to start. Okay, so now we worked those ankles a little bit. Now we're going to drive the heel down and pull the toes out. And as we do that, the knees go out. And as the knees go out, we feel a gentle stretch on the inner thigh. Then we bring the toes front and we bring the toes in. As the toes go in, we feel a stretch on the outside of the ankle and calf, a little bit on the outside of the knee, and we feel the knees roll in, so a bit of a stretch on the hips. Then we come back to center. Now we lift the heels, so the toes are up. We sweep them out, and as we do, golly, we feel a great stretch on the inside of the ankle, inside of the knee, and maybe a little on the inside of the thigh. Then we pick those toes up and roll them out. As the toes really go out, we feel a really big stretch on the inside of the foot and ankle, stretching on the inside of the knee, and all the way to the inside of the thigh. And then when we come back, we'll just walk our feet right back in. Now, we're going to lift the knees up a little bit. So we're going to lift one knee up a little bit and down. It doesn't have to come up high. What happens is, again, we're working the joint of the hip. I'm cheating. You'll notice that I'm leaning back. Then, if you try to do it sitting straight up, you might work the stomach. Can you feel that a little bit? And relax down. Now, we're just going to let those hips relax. We're going to let those thighs relax. And all we're going to do is work with our arms just to give a little break to our lower body. So we're going to pull the shoulders up, back and down 2 times. And then we're going to pull the elbows up and back and down 2 times. Now we're going to go swimming backwards. So we stretch one arm up and back and down, and then the other arm. Let's do that one more set. Up and back and down, up and back and down, and relax. Then we're simply going to move our body forward and back. We have good support with our fingertips in, elbows wide, so our back doesn't take the work, but it does get a good stretch. Ear, shoulder, hip. Remember that beautiful torso straight line. The flat back comes forward a little bit, and we feel our back get a good stretch, and then we push ourselves up because the back muscles, hips, legs, everything's attached. Beautiful long spine. Flat back comes forward, elbows wide. Feel the gentle stretch, not only on the front of the shoulders, but also that back gets a really good stretch. And slowly come back to center. Now we're going to ask a little more of our backs because remember, back, hips, everything's attached. Beautiful long tall posture. Flat back folds forward, not very far. We're going to take this hand and bring it under the knee, the opposite side. Breathe in, and as we breathe out, well supported by the hand on the thigh, as our hand stretches down our shin, that shoulder's going to roll forward, and that stretch is going all the way down into the back. Can you feel that one?
Yep.
Then we're going in direct opposition. So we push the hand down into the thigh, draw the back of the hand that was reaching down diagonally up and back. We keep our eyes on that hand. We push this knee out now as we draw the arm back and turn and look back. We have a beautiful opening of the whole torso. And slowly come back to center. Great job. Breathe in, breathe out, come forward. Good. Breathe in, come up just a little bit. Then we take this hand, we reach across our body and under our knee with the good support of our hand on our thigh, so our back gets a stretch but not the strain. We breathe in, and as we breathe out, we slowly float down and come to a position that's good for you. So your position might be here. Your position might be here. And you might want to, if you want to spend a little more time, you could breathe in, breathe out, come down a bit. Breathe in, come up a bit. Breathe out and see if you could come down more. Pay attention to the back. So you'll notice that Carol's really down far. So we're going to push the hand into the thigh. Take the hand that was on the shin, draw the back of the hand up, 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 up. Take the hand that was on the thigh, push the knee out as you draw the arm up and back, opening up your heart, opening up the chest. Feel how good that feels. And slowly come back to center. Good work. So we were giving that back a nice stretch forward. We'll also want to get the abdominals into it because everything's connected to everything. So our feet are flat, hands down. We're going to roll the hands up like we have a big box. We're going to lean back a little bit until you can feel that stomach tighten up. Then we're going to take the box and we're just going to put it up on the first shelf. Then we lean back, we get another box. We put this box on the second shelf. There you go. We lean back a little more. We get another box, put it on the third shelf. Excellent. Here's our last box, yippee. And as we exhale, we put it on the top shelf and then relax. Another way to work the hips is to create resistance. So, if I want to work my outer thighs, but I don't have anything to do it, I'm going to bring my ankles and knees and feet together. Take my hands, which are really strong, and you're going to put your hands on the outsides of your knees. You're going to sit tall because you don't want to do this with a rounded back. You want your posture to be perfect. Belly in, chest up, shoulders up, back and down. Now you're going to take these knees and push them out as you're taking your hands and pushing in. Are you ready? Here we go. Breathe in and push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Let's do it 2 more times. Sit tall. Hands on the outside. Pivoting forward slightly from the hips. Breathe in. Breathe out and push the knees out and push the hands in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is our third and last time. Here we go. Sit tall. Lean forward slightly. Push out and use those hands to push in. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and release. Wow. That was a good workout with really nothing. So now we walk our feet out. We're going to start. We're working the joint of the hip. We're working the inner thighs. Our posture is nice and tall. This time, our hands are inside the knees. We sit tall. We're going to be trying to pull the knees in, and we're trying to push the hands out at the same time. Isometric training. Breathe in, sit tall. Shoulders are relaxed and down. Chest up, belly in. As you exhale, pull the knees in and hands out. Breathe in. Breathe out and push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and release.
Well, your arms are getting a workout.
That's
too.
right. That's exactly right, Carol. We're focusing on the legs. Where's the resistance coming from? Our arms. Our arms are getting a good workout also. You probably felt that before Carol even said it. Okay, 2 more times. Beautiful posture. Breathe in nice and tall. As you exhale, push the hands out. Pull those knees in. Ooh, you're working so hard. 5, 6, 7, 8, and release. Thank heavens, only 1 more time. Here we go.
Okay.
Thumbs in. We're tall. Shoulders back and down. And breathe in. Breathe out and push those knees in. Push those hands out. Good, good. 5, 6, 7, 8, and release. That was a lot of work. So now we're going to work nice and easy. We're going to step out and in. So we need to have that joint of the hip. We're stepping out and in, other foot. When we first do this exercise, you'll notice that Carol and I are picking our foot up a little. So of course we need the thigh or the quadricep muscle. And we're stepping out only a little. Then when our joints of our hip and the muscles of our legs get a little stronger and we get accustomed to this move, we can bring the knee out a little more. So we always start small and then we get bigger in that range of motion, being how wide you can step from the beginning to the end and then right back in. Good work, good work. Now, I know that you had so much fun with that resistance training. We should try it again. This time, we're going to try to pull the knee up as we're pushing down on the thigh. So when your hand is close to the knee, that will be the most resistance. You'll get less resistance if you put your hand here. But of course, the resistance is however hard you push. Okay, so I'm going to lean back a little bit on purpose. I'm going to pull this knee up and push down with this hand. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Breathe in. As you breathe out, push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Let's do it only 2 times. Lean back, lift, push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just doesn't seem fair. We should do it 3 times. Okay, let's lean back a little bit. Belly in. Make sure your spine's nice and long, but you're not arching your back. And push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. The good news is you're done with that leg. The bad news is you've got another leg. Okay, shoulders are relaxed and down. Breathe in a bit. As you breathe out, push down as the knee pulls up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. Sure, we're working the joint, but I'm telling you, a little bit of the abs and quadriceps are getting this one. But guess what? Those are the muscles that go around the hip. That's why this is so important. Okay, lean back again. Breathe in, breathe out, and push and resist. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and boom. Okay, here we go. Lean back a bit, belly in, and push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. I love the relaxation, if you know what I mean. All right. So that's one that we can do. It's working the hips, working the muscles that are all around those hips, because everything is connected. Now, when we lean back, we're not only going to extend one leg, but we're going to lift it up. But we'll start with a bent knee. So we're going to lean back, and we're going to feel the stomachs tighten up, but we're going to lift a knee and touch it down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and relax. It was working the joint of the hip. Yes, we need those muscles all around that hip area to allow us to do it. Let's do it again with the other foot. We lean back. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good work. Let's lean forward and stretch it out. Okay, all of these exercises are really good, but we need to stand up to actually get our body weight working on that hip. So, up we go. And we're going to stand behind our chair. If you don't have a chair that's really, really sturdy that you can move around, because sometimes, I don't know about you, but our TV chairs are right against the wall. So it's difficult to stand behind the chairs. And even if we did, they rock back and forth. So you need to hold on to like a high counter or a table or a bureau, something that's nice and sturdy. Okay? So the first thing that we're going to do with our hips is just to push them back a little bit. This is called a hip hinge. We're going to bend the knees a little bit, and here's your hips. This is what they call a hand sandwich. So you bring your hands right here where your leg comes into the rest of your torso, and you push the hips back and bring the belly down as one piece of bread, and the thigh is the other piece of bread, and now you have a hand sandwich. There you go. Push the heels down, straighten the legs, stand up. Remember, your chair is here for balance. And if you need your chair, bend the knees, push the hips back. When I push my hips back, and this is a hip hinge, I always think that when I have my arms full of groceries, how am I going to close the car door? Guess what? Boom! So I do a hip hinge. There you go. And slowly come back to center. Okay, another thing for the hip is getting the range of motion of the hip. Okay? So, our hands can be right on the chair. You can hold your hands on your hips if you want to focus on balance, but have something sturdy right in front of you. So we're going to bring the toe forward. We're going to bring the toe out to the side. We're going to bring the toe back. We're going to do it again, but then we'll ask more for ourselves. We'll bring the toe forward. We're going to bring it above and beyond. So we're going to bring it to the opposite chair leg. We're crossing, stepping just forward, stepping out to the side, stepping back, and then asking more of that back step that it crosses a little. You'll feel that whole hip flexor open up. Step back, step to the side, and in. Let's try it with the other foot. First, we start simply by touching forward, touching to the side, and touching back. Nice and easy. Touching to the side. We touch forward again, but now this time we ask our leg to cross a little bit. Good. Stepping forward, stepping out to the side, stepping back, and then crossing a bit. Now, when you cross midline, which is going beyond the toe or the heel, if you've had a hip replacement, your doctor may ask you not to do that. So that's why we have to always talk to our doctors before we exercise, and then come back to center. Now we're going to do the Flamingo, one of my favorites, yes. So, holding on to the chair if you choose, or you could work on balance. You could hold on with one hand alone. Standing nice and tall, ear, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle. Nice and tall, chest lifted, look straight ahead. Lift one knee up and bring it out a little and cross over. So your foot is very close to your standing leg. So this is where you have the least strain. If you say to yourself, I can do that easily, try to bring your foot underneath your knee and cross over. That's a little more taxing. If you say to yourself,
oh, yes.
If you say to yourself, this is really boring, straighten the leg out, sweep it forward and across, out and back, forward and across. Now sweep that whole leg back, 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 and try to stand on both feet. Good job. You did a great job. So you stop at the place that it's the most comfortable for you. Let's try the other leg. We'll lift the knee up as high as it's comfortable for you. Roll the knee across the body and out. Good job. Across the body. Good job. And out. Across the body and out. So our foot is very close to our leg. Then we drop the foot so it's underneath the knee. We cross the body and out. So we're really working the hip across the body. If I ask you to do something and your body says no, you must have great regard for your body. So now if we want even more work, we stretch the leg out, cross the body, bring it out to the side, cross the body, out to the side. Last time, cross the body, out to the side, and this time we sweep it back and try to stand tall with equal weight on both feet. Good balancing, by the way, Carol. I just saw you do that. And then slowly come back to center. All we're going to do is circle the hips. So imagine you're in an ice cream cone and your feet are together. The hips go around the top of the ice cream cone. There you go. Now you'll hold it wherever you are and bring it in the opposite direction. Really loosening up those hips, the back, the belly. Good, 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 good. Great job. Now, the other exercise that's really good for your hips is called the bird dog. So we did our hip hinge. Now we're going to do the bird dog with one foot back and one arm forward. We're going to tilt forward and reach with a hand and reach with the toe of the other foot, and then slowly come back down. Then we'll switch. Reach back with that toe, forward with the arm, shoulders back and down, belly in, and we're going to tip from those hips and reach through the fingers. Good job. You've got it. You're doing a great job. And slowly come back to center. Good work. Now, let's have a seat and get a good stretch. You did a great job today. Woo! I almost lost Carol in the bushes.
Did you hear me?
Okay, let's get a drink of water. That's a good idea, Carol. That really does. The water is superb. So, if you have a hip that is tender, or any joint that's tender, you just want to make sure you don't overload that joint. Like if your hips are tender, you want to make sure that you're not carrying too much weight that puts the pressure there. Again, you don't want to walk on uneven ground because that'll cause a lot of pressure on the hips. You don't want to do anything extreme. Like you'll notice we didn't extremely move that limb out to the side. We were just working at what was our most comfortable range of motion. So you want to stay within that area. Also, if you don't have pain, like the more you work on the muscles and ligaments and tendons all around the joint of the hip, you're going to have less stress. And when you have less stress and muscle pain, it really helps you relax a little bit. It's really true. Okay. So one of the ways to do it is just progressive relaxation. So we're going to do a Reader's Digest version of it. We're going to sit tall as we breathe in. As we exhale, squeeze your eyes, crunch up your nose, purse your lips like you're eating a lemon, and then exhale and relax. Breathe in, palms up. As you breathe out, curl the hands to make a fist, curl the fist in, pull the elbows back, shrug the shoulders up, tighten that whole upper body, breathe in, breathe out, and relax. Then we work on the lower body. Curl the toes, flex the feet, push the heels down, squeeze the knees together, squeeze the buttocks, pull the pelvic muscles in and up, squeeze 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. So sometimes you don't even realize you're stressed until you stress everything and relax. And after you do that, you say, wow, I never even realized I was that stressed. So let's try one whole body crunch. Breathe in, crunch and squeeze, and exhale and shake it out. And if you have high blood pressure, you don't want to squeeze and hold that squeeze too long at all. Okay, that was really good. You did an excellent job. Let's just do a little spinal twist. This feels good because we've been working on the hip. When we do an upper body twist, guess what? We're rotating the upper body. Guess what's stationary? Our hips. Okay, now we're going to come back to center and just drop an elbow and lift an elbow. There you go. Perfect. Very, very nice. So we did a great job today, and you did a really good job. And then we're going to come back to center, and we're going to do a circle with our body. We'll place our hands across our chest. We're going to lean back a little bit, and then we're going to lean to the side, and then lean forward, and lean to the side, and now the other way. We're going to lean to the side, and forward, and side, and back. Come back to center. Good job. Shake everything out so you're nice and loosey-goosey. And we're going to take a great big breath in. Nice oxygen-rich air, bringing it into our lungs. Exhale and shaking all your cares and worries out. One more great big breath in. And as you exhale, know that all will be well. Good job. Let's drink some water. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Good job.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.